Hi everyone, welcome to my video. I am diving into how interesting the media landscapes in the US and Vietnam reflect each other in unique ways. Both countries have vibrant media industries that play a crucial role in shaping public opinion and influencing societal norms. This isn't just about what news is reported, but how it's illustrated from a different perspective, which shapes our understanding of each two countries. The initial portrayal of Vietnam in the US, media during the Vietnam War was heavily influenced by the government's perspective, often portraying the conflict as a necessary and just cause. Fast forward to the present day, the US. Media's portrayal of Vietnam has evolved to encompass a more balanced and nuanced view. It now reflects Vietnam's economic growth, human rights, and tourism. Because the media system of the US is a liberal model, their media outlets often focus on those topics about Vietnam. The focus has shifted from wartime narratives to the country's development and increasing engagement in global markets. To be more detailed, here are some examples of these statements. In terms of economic development and trade relations in Vietnam, the New York Times highlights Vietnam's rapid economic growth, trade agreements, and its role in global supply chains. CNN covers Vietnam's economic reforms and investment opportunities, often framing it as a rising market in Southeast Asia. About human rights and governance of Vietnam. The New York Times frequently discusses human rights issues in Vietnam, including freedom of speech, political prisoners, and government censorship. CNN covers Vietnam's political landscape, often focusing on the balance between economic liberalization and political control. Tourism and culture of Vietnam. The New York Times highlights Vietnam as a popular travel destination, showcasing its culture, cuisine, and landscapes. CNN features travel guides and cultural stories, presenting Vietnam as an exotic and vibrant destination. The Vietnamese government owns and controls the majority of media outlets. The Communist Party of Vietnam exerts significant influence over editorial content and journalistic practices. Vietnam News often highlights the economic relationship between the US and Vietnam, focusing on trade agreements and bilateral cooperation. Media content is often used to promote social harmony and international harmony. Vietnam News discusses the influence of US foreign policy in the Asia-Pacific region, usually highlighting its impact on regional stability. Vietnam News also features stories about American culture, education, and technological advancements. Specifically, in terms of economic development and trade relations, VinExpress usually reports on American investments in Vietnam and the positive impact on the local economy. In Han Dan newspaper covers trade discussions and economic collaborations, portraying them as mutually beneficial. Regarding US foreign policy and influence in Vietnam, VinExpress reports on US diplomatic efforts and military presence in Southeast Asia. And Han Dan newspaper sometimes criticizes US foreign policy decisions, particularly those seen as interfering in regional affairs. What's more, about American culture and society, VinExpress covers aspects of the American lifestyle, often in a comparative context with Vietnamese culture. Nha Dan newspaper publishes articles on American society, sometimes highlighting social issues such as racial inequality and political polarization. This video provides a comprehensive comparison of how the US and Vietnam are portrayed in each other's media. By examining specific examples and identifying common themes, we can better understand the narratives that shape public perceptions and influence bilateral relations. Thank you so much for your attention.